Hey everyone, Backyard Farmer Pat here. Today is an extremely exciting episode for me. Today we're gonna talk about starting our seeds. Starting your own seeds, growing your own food is so very important. For most of you who have been with me from the beginning, you know that I'm passionate about teaching people to grow their own healthy food. That's why originally I call this YouTube station Plant, Grow, and Eat, because it's so important. Last year when I saw all those long COVID lines of people trying to get a box of food, it just tore my heart apart. And then when I saw the racial injustice on top of it, and I knew that in the black communities, the black children are 50% more likely to go to bed hungry. I'm thinking, I can't solve all the world hunger, but I can do my part by teaching others to grow their own food. Not to mention, in a lot of the poorer black communities, they're considered food deserts because they can't just go to the store or go to Publix like us and buy fresh fruits and vegetables. So this is a way of getting fresh fruits and vegetables on your tables. You can start your own seeds for $1. You can have 100 plants that actually bear fruit or vegetables. You can have enough for your family. You can have enough to share. So today we're going to talk about how to start our seeds, how to choose our seeds, the best place to start them, whether in containers or directly sown in the ground. We're going to talk about so much more. So stick with me and let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is pick our seeds. So I have this album. This is actually my grandmother in her garden. But I use this album to keep my seeds because I had seeds all over the place. So I kind of have everything in one place. And if you come a little closer, I'll show you what I have here. So I have callaloo seeds from my mom's garden. She moved a couple years ago, but she had some callaloo. So I picked some callaloo seeds, and I've planted callaloo many times. So I think I'm going to plant some callaloo this year. This is the bok chow. You guys who have seen many of my videos with the bok chow and the mustard greens. Let me tell you, people, look at this name, Ferry Morris mustard green, India, Florida broadleaf. I got this I believe at Lowe's for $1.58. These seeds have this packet maybe has 100, 200 seeds. I have no idea. So it's less than a penny per seed. This is incredible. I'm gonna go around the corner and show you. This is still growing. It's still getting big. It's beautiful. This may be one of my favorite vegetables now. Bok chow was, but mustard greens is a very close second place. So I think I'm gonna, you know what? I wasn't planning on planting anymore because I have so much, but this is so good and the weather is cool. It's January, so I think I'm gonna plant some of those. Then my Chinese cabbage, which I thought was not gonna grow, it actually is growing right now. It started off really bad after Etta killed all my Chinese cabbage and my Swiss chard. So I'm gonna try one more time with my Swiss chard. This is rainbow Swiss chard. It has different colors. It came up, but after Etta it died. So I'm gonna plant this too. Spinach, I'm not gonna bother with spinach since I'm already planted mustard greens. So it's very important, if you kind of see what I'm doing, it's very important to have a good variety. At least for me it is. I don't want to have all greens. So right now I have callaloo, mustard greens, Swiss chard, and Napa cabbage. So I think that's enough greens for now. So I'm not gonna do any carrots or broccoli for now. Green beans, I'm not gonna plant right now. I'll plant that later in the spring. And I have a variety of green beans. If you're gonna plant green beans, something to keep in mind is that you can have the bush green beans, which goes really well in containers because they grow like a bush. But the vine and green beans, you need a much bigger container and you need somewhere for the trellis up. I have all these other fancy green beans that I'm gonna save. These are the blue butterfly peas, which has a spectacular flower. People actually plant this just for the flowers, but I'm gonna plant it for the flowers and the food. And then these are the yard-long beans that grow to like a couple feet long, 2 or 3. I don't think they're as long as 3 feet, but they're like a couple feet long. But I'm not gonna do that. So here is my tomato and my pepper page. So one thing I want to show you, because I know that several people that follow me aren't here in South Florida, so it may be too early to start planting. It's very important to look at the days to germinate and the days to harvest. It's very important to look at this information. Also at the back, it shows you exactly, depending on what state you're in or what agricultural zone you're in, it tells you the months that you can plant. So here I'm in South Florida, so I'm at the orange at the bottom, so it's telling me I can plant this from January to March, from August through December, and from January to March or August through December. So right now we're in January, so it's a good time. This is very, very important. Also, if you're anywhere north of South Florida, so even Central Florida or above, or other states, you always have to think about your first frost date. Is it first frost date or last frost date? Your last frost date, just to make sure that you don't plant something that's gonna die as soon as it germinates. So that's very important. So be sure when you're picking these vegetables or plants, just be sure, or herbs, be sure that you look at your last frost date to be sure that you're within those ranges. All right, so we're gonna pick tomatoes. Some of these tomatoes for South Florida, because South Florida gets so hot, the very large tomatoes don't normally grow well here, but I know they grow very well up north. So I usually like to plant like cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes, or Everglade tomatoes. Everglade tomatoes, it's a tomato that's native to South Florida, to Florida, and it can grow in the hottest of weather. So I don't have any Everglades tomatoes, but I probably would buy some from the local nursery since I don't have seeds. But this is a cherry tomato that I planted last year and it did very well. So I'm gonna plant these tomatoes. And also for the very first time, I bought heirloom tomatoes from Baker Creek. Baker Creek is a company that's online that sells these heirloom tomatoes. I bought 2 different kind of cherry tomatoes. As I said, the larger tomatoes don't do very well in South Florida, so I'm gonna try planting the Chadwick tomatoes and the black cherry tomatoes. Here it has some basic instructions on the back about how to plant it. It says start indoors 6 to 10 weeks before last frost. I don't have frost in South Florida, so I'm okay here. And also because the weather is very mild, I'm gonna keep my containers outside. If for some chance the weather falls, I can bring my containers inside. And I will also plant some bell peppers. This is gonna be my first time. Also Baker Creek pepper, king of the north. I hope this doesn't mean it only grows up north, but I'm gonna try it. As a matter of fact, I have some other pepper seeds I grew last year. I'll just use this, and this is just some seeds that I got at probably at Walmart or whatever. Let me see. This says it can be planted from March to May, so this isn't actually ready, so I'm not gonna plant my peppers right now. It seems that the peppers do better when you plant them later, so I won't plant these right now. So what else do I have? Cucumbers, I believe. Let's see what month. Cucumbers, I'm gonna check on cucumbers, but I definitely want some cucumbers. I think it may be a little early for cucumbers. I'm gonna check on it before I actually plant it, but I'm taking these out here. And then these are just some seeds that I collected from my own callaloo last year, but I'm gonna use my mom's callaloo, so I'm not gonna plant these. These are some moringa seeds I collected also. And basil, we gotta get our herbs. So we got our greens, we got our nice yummy greens, we got our tomatoes, we have cucumber. Let's get some herbs. We want to make sure that our garden is well balanced. So all I have right now is sweet basil. I'm out of parts of the seeds, but I'm gonna plant some sweet basil. And then, oh my gosh, I really wanted to try these bok chow. And I know, you know what? I know bok chow, it's not gonna grow well in the summer. So I'm gonna plant them while I can. So I know it's a lot of greens, and I said I wasn't gonna do any more greens, but look at this. I gotta try this. Look at these bok chow, how beautiful they look. I gotta try this. So I'm gonna plant some more. And I think that's it for here. I got some free, they sent me some free kale seeds, but I don't really feel like planting kale this year. So let's see what else we have. So I said that there are different sources of buying seeds. So far we've looked at all the seeds that you can buy in the store, and you can get them at Lowe's, Home Depot, at your local nursery. You can get them online like at Baker's Creek or other places. But you also saw where I collected seeds, like my mom's callaloo. What else did I just show you? My moringa seeds, my callaloo, my mom's okra. And here we have some other seeds, white sorrel and red sorrel. A lot of us know sorrel from Jamaica, but this is a white version of sorrel and the red version. I'm not gonna plant this until like around March or so. I also have some okra that I allowed to dry on the tree earlier this spring, when I planted it last spring, before I actually started the YouTube channel. So each one of these pots is filled with okra seeds, and I just left it on the tree to dry. Every single one of these seeds will become a whole new okra tree. So I think I'm gonna save this for later in the year. So maybe like March, I'll plant my okra at the same time I plant my bell peppers. All right, what else do we have? We have pigeon peas. So I have pigeon peas that I also allowed to dry. I'm hoping you guys can see this. I'm trying to line this up, but I have pigeon peas that I also allowed to dry on the tree. I'm gonna save this. I'm not ready to plant this because my pigeon peas is laden. I'm about to show you that. And I have sweet sop seeds, pumpkin seeds, papaya seeds. So this is telling you that you don't have to buy if you don't want to. You can plant. If somebody gives you a fruit that you like or a vegetable you like, you can plant it. If you grew something last year, allow some of the herbs and the veggies to go to seed, and collect those seeds. Also, I wanted to show you this. Doesn't look too good, but what I do is whenever I eat a pepper or eat something that I really like these are sweet bell peppers. So I'm gonna plant some of these bell peppers. That I bought the bell pepper, I cooked it, and then before I cooked it, of course, I took some of the seeds out. So I'm gonna plant some of these bell peppers. I believe these were a red bell pepper. Yeah. So here it is. I know it's a red bell pepper. I planted this weeks ago. That's why everything is dried out now. But it's a red bell pepper. This is an orange, or oh, this might be the red one. And then this pepper, it's like a Scotch bonnet. It is as hot as fire. I got the pepper. Oh my gosh, I should have opened it up. It went bad. So normally if you want to save your seeds, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. So this pepper is absolutely delicious, was absolutely delicious. And I saved one pepper, but I had planned on planting it 2 weeks ago and I didn't, and now it's full of fungus, so I don't think it's gonna grow. The seeds might be bad. I'll still try to plant some, but this is absolutely delicious if it works. Then this is Scotch bonnet. I have a few that are already growing, but I'm gonna plant these seeds. I used all the flesh of the Scotch bonnet. I saved these seeds. So this is just to show you that you can save seeds of things that you use. Of course, you don't cook the seeds, you take them out before you use them. And here I have these are actually cantaloupe seeds. This cantaloupe I got at Publix, and it's called Sugar Kiss. And I tell you, this cantaloupe was pure sugar. So I put the seeds here along with some, those are dried out papaya seeds. But these cantaloupe seeds, I'm gonna try and grow these. These were like the best cantaloupe I've had in my life. It's called Sugar Kiss, and it was at Publix. So I'm gonna do some of these also. So next, let's talk about the containers. So you can start seeds. No, before we talk about containers, I want to show you the difference in the outcome when you direct sow versus planting in containers. Direct sow means you plant it directly in the ground, or you just spread the seeds in the ground, versus, well, actually direct sow can mean you dig and plant, or it can mean you scatter the seeds. I'm going to show you the difference in how the produce looks when you scatter the seeds thickly versus when you plant them. You start the seeds in these containers and then take them and plant them directly in the ground. I'm gonna show you that really quick, and then we're gonna come back and talk about the containers. So come with me. All right, so I want to show you some of the things that I planted from seed, and I want to show you the difference with how I spread it, direct sowed it into the ground versus taking them and separating them. Also, I want to show you something. Remember, we just talked about the different sources of how to get seeds. So look at this. Come real close. These are my baby bok chow that I planted and I've been eating from. You see these? these flower pods, they have these little things at the bottom. You know what these are? These are actually pods that have seeds. So, and look at this. It's like covered with these seed pods. So when I say allow it to go to seed, it means leave it in the ground till it starts flowering, and then it produces seeds. Each of these have multiple seeds. So this is another source of seeds. I want to also show you, come on over here. Here are some more seed pods. What I do is I leave them on. You see, this is almost dry. I'm gonna leave, oh, here's some that are dry. I'm gonna leave them on until they're completely dry. When they're completely dry, then you can harvest them and save them for next year. So literally, I know I bought a whole bunch of other bok choy because I wasn't thinking, I didn't realize that it was gonna give me all these seeds. But I literally have enough seeds to plant another crop for next year. I really didn't need to go out and buy seeds. So many of them have gone to seed. So I'm gonna have probably enough seeds for the next couple of years. Plus, remember, I always say share with a friend. So my friends out there, you'll be getting some seeds. You guys know who you are. All right, so let me show you the difference between scattering the seeds like I did earlier with the baby bok choy and planting them separately. So remember, in this bed, I actually scattered the seeds. So I got a whole bunch of baby bok choy coming up. You can see some of them are small, some of them are big, and most of them didn't get very, very big. Most of them got to maybe this size when I harvested it. But what I did was I started pulling some out and I started putting them in other areas. So for instance, I pulled two little ones out that were probably like this size, and I stuck them right below in this empty thing, and look how big they got. So this shows you if they have more space to grow, they grow much bigger. So look at these two, they're much bigger. There's some on this side, I don't know if you can see it. Over on that side, they're way bigger. Also, let's look at my mustard greens. Remember, I did the same with the mustard greens. So when I planted my Chinese cabbage and my bok choy, I just sprinkled it. All my Chinese cabbage died, or I thought they were dead after ETA, but then this one survived. So this is the only one I haven't harvested yet. So this is my Chinese cabbage. It's gonna get much bigger, so I'm gonna leave it. I have one more here. These are my bok choy, but you see the size, right? They're good size, you know, good size to harvest, but they're not really very, very big. My mustard greens, they're beautiful, but you can see they're not huge. I mean, they're big, they're good size, delicious, but look at these mustard greens on this side. I did the same thing. I pulled a couple mustard greens over there, but look at the difference. So I just pulled a couple mustard greens that looked like they were probably on their way out because they were like too crowded. And when I put them over here, they got massive. And even the bok choy, look how big it is compared to the ones that have a whole lot. So this tells you when you give your plants room to grow, they're gonna be massive. So these mustard greens, I'm gonna leave here, and I'll probably harvest, but I'm gonna, hopefully some of them will go to seeds. So I'll have more seeds for next year. I don't plan on buying any more mustard greens. But I absolutely love it, but I love this so much that I want to make sure that I get the seeds. So I wanted you guys to see that, so that when you plan, you decide how you want to plant yours. You can decide if you're just going to sprinkle and direct sow like I did in the fall, or if you're going to do what I'm doing today, which is I'm going to plant them in the plant cells and then transplant them to give them space to grow. So now let's start planting. Wait. I forgot, I promised I was going to show you my gungo peas or pigeon peas tree. Look at it. It's absolutely laden. Every single branch is completely laden. Look at this. So this started off as one seed 2 years ago. And now look at the size of this tree. It's beautiful with these yellow flowers. But every branch, this has an abundance of gungo peas. And you saw the 2 pots that I have. I can plant more, but I probably won't this year. I'll probably save those, and I'll probably let some of these go to seed, so I'll have enough seed to share with all my friends. Look at those beautiful flowers. I know that the video is getting a bit long, and I know I promised that we're gonna get to the planting today, But I think I'm gonna split this into 2 videos. So for now, I'm gonna say goodbye. The next video will be coming out in just a couple days. So for now, let's plant, grow, and eat together. Plant a seed today, whether you have to go to Dollar Tree or to Walmart or to just get some seeds out of a fruit you're eating. Today is the day to start planting your seeds, whether you can plant them outside or you start them indoors. Let's plant, grow, and eat together. Bye, till next time.